And it's Ken Kraetzer for CBSI Services. We're at the Independent Bankers Association of New York State Conference and just heard a terrific presentation by Ryan Hayhurst, who is the president of the Baker Group. And Ryan, talking to the bankers this morning, a lot of concerns about the recession, but also preparing for what the next months and years may be.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Ken. The message today, my message really was that I asked for a show of hands in the audience, and I would say probably 80+% of the participants thought we would have a recession in the next year. I think that there's a lot of challenges for the economy. I think there's a lot of challenges for community banks that they're facing going into the second half of 2022. I think the Fed is going to aggressively hike interest rates the rest of the year to tackle inflation. And that very well may lead to a recession. And my main message to community banks was to simply get recession ready. Analyze your risk profile, look at your balance sheet, come up with strategies for pricing your loans, pricing your deposits to ensure that you're prepared as best as you can be for any recession that may happen either later this year or early next year.
And you mentioned about Fed policy trying to prevent a recession, but now it's shifting towards reducing inflation. How do you see that working?
Yeah, the Fed is a dual mandate, as most people know, maximum employment and price stability. They clearly feel they have maximum employment with an unemployment rate down at a cycle low near 3.6%, but inflation is too high with CPI at 8.6%. They actually target something called PCE, which is a little over 6%, but they really want to get it down to 2%. So the Fed has flipped from fighting I think for the last 2 years, they fought the possibility of a recession, knowing it could cause inflation. And now I believe they're going to aggressively fight inflation, knowing it may cause a recession. So I think the Fed has really flipped from supporting the economy to really now tackling the problem of inflation. They know it may cause some pain in the short term, but it's better to get inflation under control and not cause pain in the long run.
Hey, and one of your comments say very positive that employment is very strong and that many consumers have accumulated savings and can withstand a bit of a downturn. How do you see that working as far as helping the bank situation, also consumers?
Yeah, I think that there's a lot of clouds in the economy, if you will. There's some pessimism, if you will, but there is some positives. And one of the positives is that consumers do have the strongest balance sheet they've had ever. They've got more savings than they've ever had. They've got large gains on their houses and their home equity. And notwithstanding the drop in the stock market in recent months, they've also got large stock portfolios that they've built up over decades. So the consumer is very healthy. Consumer delinquency rates on a lot of things are relatively low compared to going into previous recessions. So I think the consumer is as prepared for a recession as they've been in a long time. So it really is going to come down to how deep, do we have a recession? How deep is it, and how long is it? And depending upon that, I think the consumer is well prepared.
And Ryan, you work for a large number of banks around the country doing economic forecasts and stats. Tell us a little bit about the services of your company, the Baker Group.
Sure. The Baker Group, we were founded by a community banker in 1979, so this is our 43rd year. We work with about 1,100 financial institutions nationwide. We're one of the largest independently owned broker-dealer in the country serving community banks. We provide asset liability management services, investment portfolio management services, loan services, bond accounting, bond analytics, municipal credit analysis, municipal underwriting, and so a variety of other things. But yeah, we serve the needs of community banks and credit unions across the country. Like I said, we've been doing it for 43 years, and we hope to do it for another 43 years.
Ryan, you're just a terrific presenter, and your talk was very well received today by the community bankers at the Independent Bankers Association of New York. Good to see you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Our pleasure. Ken Kraetzer for CBSI Services.